Welcome to this Identity Access video tutorial. This video covers the iNet IP utility. What is the iNet IP utility? The iNet IP utility is a software application that has been designed to assist installers and maintenance providers with setting and discovering the network address of the Controlsoft iNet range of controllers. How does it work? The iNet IP utility detects broadcast traffic from the iNet on the network and uses this to set the network settings. This means the controller can be programmed without being in the same network range as the iNet. However, you must be on the same layer 2 network. Demonstration. In this example, I have connected my one-door iNet controller to my laptop directly without the use of a network switch. I have let the controller power up and the UIO light is flashing. I'm now going to open the iNet IP utility. Once open, press Scan. As you can see, the utility has found my controller. I can confirm it's the correct controller by looking at the MAC address label and comparing the two. Notice how the controller is in red, meaning it's yet to be configured. I'm now going to select my controller. The first thing I will be required to do is set the admin password of this controller. This must be a secure password meeting the complexity requirements. Once entered, I must confirm the password. The password will be required for logging into the web interface and modifying the network settings of the one-door iNet controllers. Once you have entered the passwords, press Save. Now I'm going to set my iNet to a static fixed IP and set the IP address, subnet mask and gateways. DNS is not required in this use case. Once entered, press Save Changes. This will cause the controller to reboot to apply these settings. It will take around 60 seconds to reboot. Now I'm going to scan again. I can see my controller on its new IP settings. Notice how the controller is now green as it has been configured. If I want to modify this controller, I need to type in the password we set earlier. The iNet is now ready to be added into Identity Access. Now, for a second demonstration, I'm going to add a two-door controller onto the network. I'm going to connect everything into a network switch. I'm now going to press Scan. As you can see, the utility has found my previous one-door controller shown in green as configured. It has also found my two-door controller in red. To change the network settings, I'm going to select my new controller. I'm going to set my iNet to a static fixed IP and set the IP address, subnet mask and gateway. DNS is not required. Once entered, press Save Changes. This will cause the controller to reboot to apply these settings. It will take around 60 seconds to reboot. Now I'm going to scan again and I can see both controllers in green for configured. The iNet is now ready to be added into Identity Access. What are the requirements? The iNet controller must be on firmware version 9.052 or higher. The firmware that the iNet left the factory on will be on the label on the processor. It is possible to firmware update the iNet controllers in the field. Lost password. Can I reset the password? There is an engineering procedure that can reset the password. You will have to have physical access to the controller to perform this. My iNet IP utility can't find any controllers. Make sure you are on the same VLAN and layer 2 network as the controller. Make sure that the controller's firmware version is 9.052 or higher. Make sure that the iNet IP utility is not being blocked by a firewall. Can I find the IP address of an existing iNet controller by plugging directly into it? Yes, you can, as long as the firmware version is 9.052 or higher. That concludes this video on the iNet IP utility. We hope you have found this video useful. We have a knowledge base version of this video in the description box.